So before I actually get into this video, I want to first thank all the people that recently subscribed. I just had a humongous influx of subscribers, mostly due to my last video that I put out, and I'm honestly astonished. I never expected to get this many subscribers so quickly, especially off of one video, so I just want to say thank you, welcome, and I hope I can put out interesting content for you to watch or listen to or whatever. Also, I figured I would surprise everybody with a little tiny face reveal. So I'm going to show you a picture of myself. There I am. It's me, good old Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. My voice has very recently been compared to Saul Goodman, as well as some guy named Badger from Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul or whatever. Either way, apparently I am firmly intertwined into the Breaking Bad universe, which I'm not upset about that. Honestly, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm upset. Jokes aside, maybe one day I will be comfortable enough to show myself to the YouTube world. Probably not, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll get over my anxiety. But anyway, let's get into this discussion. And the topic today is about the Steam Deck and how I think it's actually really good for Nintendo that this thing is coming out. I know a lot of first reactions would be, but wait, how is this good for Nintendo? It's literally going to compete with them, and it's better than the Switch in every way, shape, and form, blah, blah, blah. And that is true, it is better than the Switch. Now, granted, of course, the Switch also came out in 2017, and the Steam Deck is coming out, this year. So, obviously, this technology is going to be better than what they put into the Switch, because it was made later and all that, but, that's not really up for debate. We should expect that already. So I do think that some people are being unfair to the Switch, really, with this thing, and by comparison, yes, the technology is going to be absolutely better. That is without a doubt. But you just have to keep in mind that the Switch is older, so this thing's going to have a little bit of a jump start on it. And we did just recently get the announcement of the Switch OLED, which is not impressive to me at all, not even a little bit. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about Switch Pro or anything like that, any rumors about that, because that's still going somehow, even though some people claim it's the OLED, then there are other people out there that claim that Switch Pro is still real. I just really want to bring up some points as to why I think the Steam Deck is really good for Nintendo, it's good for the Switch, and the main reason for this is because competition is a good thing. Competition makes it so that way people stay on top of their game so they can stay on top. The thing is that Nintendo has been relatively unchallenged in the handheld department for years. Sega tried to challenge them in the handheld department, didn't have a chance. Sony tried to challenge them in the handheld department, didn't have a chance. Hell, even smartphones today can't even really beat Nintendo in the handheld department. Nintendo is the kings of handhelds. The Switch is sort of their piece de resistance in terms of a handheld machine. The fusion of a console and a handheld, the Switch is a great machine, I love it, but the Switch itself and Nintendo have a lot of shortcomings. And the reason why they have so many shortcomings is because they're too comfortable. They're number one, and no one is able to challenge them. And so you have some technical issues with the Switch, as well as software issues with the Switch, that Nintendo probably doesn't feel like they need to fix, because there really is no alternative for someone to turn to if they want to have a game system that offers the amount of flexibility that a Nintendo Switch does. You have things like Joy-Con drift. You have things like the lack of a virtual console, the bare bones lackluster internet service that Nintendo tries to peddle you, Nintendo Online, not that great. All of these things are pretty shitty with the Switch. And of course there's other things, there's smaller things that you can nitpick. The network that we play on Switch Online isn't very good, so games like Smash and Mario Kart and all that, you have lag, you have all kinds of issues with that. Meanwhile, Steam Deck, is going to have, for one, Steam, which has an insane amount of games, all kinds of crazy sales. The online on this thing is going to be great, and I'm sure that the, connectability to Wi-Fi and everything like that is also going to be great. It'll have native voice chat and everything on it. Of course, we can't talk about anything that comes to the technical stuff because we don't have these things in hand yet ourselves, so we don't know if there's going to be a Joy-Con drift in a way with this thing or not. We don't know. There could be issues with it, but as of right now, we can assume that Valve will probably do top work on this thing, and you know, they'll probably be looking at the Switch as well, at the problems that it has, issues that it has, and will try to not have those same issues. So one can assume that the Steam Deck is going to be pretty good out the gate. Not only that, but then we get into the discussion of emulators. This falls in line with the last video that I put out, where I was talking about, I was using the new Metroid Dread as an example of the fact that you can't play a lot of the older Metroids that come before it on the Switch. There's no way to do that. We don't have any kind of virtual console or anything, so new players can't experience those games, yada yada yada. If you want to check it out yourself, please go right on ahead and do it. It's my most popular video all of a sudden, so please check it out if you didn't see it. But anyway, and of course, one of the top comments that I got on that video is emulation, which I did say was illegal in my video, though a lot of people did counterpoint me with why it's not really illegal and whatnot. So, you know, truth be told, my stance on emulation has changed a little bit after reading a lot of the comments and sort of looking more into things that I personally didn't really understand when it came to it. But when it comes right down to it, emulation is your best option to play a lot of older Nintendo games. Nintendo doesn't have a full library of games on the Switch right now when it comes to a lot of their older consoles, and a lot of people emulate these things, and the Steam Deck will be able to do that. You will be able to have emulation on it, so you can play older Nintendo games on this thing, which is something you can't even really do on the Switch that well. So that's not that good for Nintendo. And then of course you have a library of both Sony and Microsoft games that will be on this. Game Pass will be able to be played on it for Microsoft, so you're going to have all those games available on it. So yeah, Steam Deck's looking pretty goddamn good. And this is exactly why Nintendo has to do better. And the thing is that Nintendo is going to know that they have to do better. They're going to know that they need to perform better than what they're doing right now. And I personally think that the Steam Deck is a really good kick in the pants to help Nintendo iron out the issues that they have with their own system. Okay, I've talked about how pitiful the online service is for Nintendo before, and of course I've talked about how pitiful their back catalog is on their Switch. This is something that needs correcting, and it's only a few things on the list. And if Nintendo sees a machine on the market that does the same exact thing that their Switch does, and then on top of that, they're not stupid. They know that people will be able to download emulators and play older games on this thing. Maybe if they see this, this is going to push them to actually give us more of their older games on the Switch in one way or another, be it through a channel like the SNES and NES channels, or whatever, I don't know, bring back Virtual Console in some way, who knows. Maybe it will push them to make their online service a little bit better and give us, you know, party invitations and being able to message your friends and all that kind of shit. Hopefully this will push Nintendo to do these things, and whenever we do get the next iteration of Switch, whenever that does come, hopefully it will be way better than what we have right now. But that's it. That's what I wanted to really talk about in this video. What do you guys think about the Steam Deck? Are you excited for it? You gonna buy it? You don't care about it? Maybe the Switch is plenty for you? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below? Of course, I do want to say one more thing before this video concludes. There is one thing that the Switch can do better than the Steam Deck, and that is obviously play the current exclusives from Nintendo. Breath of the Wild is amazing, Metroid Dread looks fantastic, Mario Odyssey is absolutely incredible. These are great games, and the Steam Deck is not going to be able to play those games, to my knowledge. Maybe there's a Switch emulator somewhere, I have no clue, but you know, they still have their exclusives. And that's going to be the thing that will always carry Nintendo, because they do make some amazing games. So that is the one thing. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, I want to thank all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. Like, it's, again, my mind is blown. I can't believe so many people have subbed. I don't even know what to say. In fact, I got really kind of nervous, to be honest with you. I'm kind of having a little bit of an anxiety attack, because every time I get more subs, I always feel like, you know, I need to live up to something big, and it just makes me all nervous, and it's a lot. But I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you guys love video games as much as me, movies, comic books, cartoons, whatever, anything, join my Discord chat. I'll have a link down in the description below. We also got a lot of people in the Discord that just joined recently, so it's growing slowly, and there's a lot of people in there. There's a lot of fun discussions, so please, if you want to meet new people, you want to talk about video games or whatever, feel free to join. My schedule is wild, so I don't get to be in there as much. Same thing with videos. I don't get to make as many videos as I would like because I work full-time, I have a family, so it's a little tough, but I'm working on it. And thank you very much for sticking with me. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you again. Have a good day. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.